Behind us is a beautiful American city that some people may call paradise. From up here, it may look like paradise, but it too has its share of violent crimes such as muggings, assaults, rapes, and even murder.
It's a fact that most people would like to believe they'd never be a victim of a violent crime. But did you know that your chances of being a victim of a violent crime are much greater than your chances of ever being involved in a minor traffic accident? You might think this only affects people in larger cities, but realistically, it affects everyone at any age and all parts of society.
Self-defense for everyone is designed for all of us who are tired of living in fear in our everyday lives only because you have not been shown what to look for or how to avoid a potentially dangerous situation. If you think we're trying to frighten you with these statements, you're right, we are. Police department statistics show that in your lifetime you will be a victim of a robbery or some kind of personal assault. This action-packed informative show on self-defense is desperately needed in our society today. Some of the experts appearing on the show will be James Lew, one of the most active contributors to action-adventure films and television. James was publisher of one of the most popular martial arts magazines in the world, and choreographer and associate producer of the movie Big Trouble in Little China.
Also, Tom, there's Gerald Okumura, known as the man of many weapons. He has many film credits to his name, such as The Octagon with Chuck Norris and The Sword and the Sorcerers.
And then there is Rufigio Flores, a full-contact karate champion who is also famous for his work with children. And Darrell Goodan, well known for his work with rape crisis centers and self-defense against rape, and also teaches the military.
And last but not least, there's Tom Farrar, who's been teaching self-defense to the media for years. Now, the rise in violent crime leaves every citizen a potential victim. Everyone viewing the show, even once, will learn enough through awareness to make their world a safer place. Now let's take a look at self-defense for everyone.
This program is divided into two easy-to-learn sections. Part 1 is self-defense options, and Part 2 is basics of self-defense. The first of the two sections is options of escape for different threatening situations that are likely to occur in a person's lifetime. After you see each situation, you will be given several methods of escape taught to you by one of the masters. Then we will go back to our victim and see which method they chose to escape the situation. Our second section will teach you the fundamentals of self-defense, which are Basic Methods of Falling by Master Okumura, Blocking and Punching by Master Goodan, Kicking by Master James Lew, Fundamentals of Wrist Locks and Holds by Master Farrar, Incapacitating Techniques by Master Lew, and Weapons by Master Okumura.
Now, most of us would feel safe walking in the park in the middle of the day, but just how safe are you? This young lady is preoccupied with other thoughts, so she is completely unaware of what is about to happen to her. What are her options? Let's go into the studio with the masters and find out.
As the person comes up to the victim, he grabs him. The victim breaks the arms away and he grabs the wrists. As we struggle, I kick him into the shin with my right foot, placing my right hand on his right hand, bringing my elbow over and bringing him down, causing pressure on his wrist. When he's down like this, he's vulnerable for a knee attack to the chest, which knocks him down, giving me time to run. When I run, the best advice always said is to scream fire, not help or rape, because more people will come if there's a fire because they're afraid something they own is on fire. The next part of it, I'll be doing it by myself. The person comes up, he grabs me, I break the grab away, placing my foot into his shin, grabbing his hand with my right hand, grabbing his right hand, bringing my elbow over, bringing him down. From this point, he's open for a knee to the chest, and then I would run. Next, I'll try it a little faster. He comes up, grabs my shoulders, I break the grab away, he grabs my wrist, we struggle. I kick him into the shin, grabbing his hand, bringing him down, opening him for a knee to the chest, and throwing him down, I would run.
Okay, we're going to do a technique that I get grabbed from the front with both hands. From here, I back up, strike the elbows, which causes the stress on the arms, which causes him to release. From there, slamming straight to his throat, grab from behind, step up, knee to either chest, face, whatever is available. Come down, strike with the elbow to the back of his neck, and then escape. Okay, I'll run through that slowly and on my own so you can see what's going on. He comes up, grabs me, step back, strike his elbows, forcing his grip to loosen up, come forward, strike his throat, grab behind his neck, step up, pulling him down, smashing my knee into his solar flex or his face, tells him come down with the elbow on the back of his neck, forcing him down, and for me to get out of the situation. Okay, let's try that again. Let's see how it happens. Here, strike, hit, hit, and escape.
In this position, I observe that my opponent has grabbed me with both his hands on both my wrists. What I'll do is execute a wrist release by going against his thumbs, reverse the grip, kicking to the groin with the whole shin. As he comes down, I attack the nose with the palm of my hand, executing a palm strike. Again, to demonstrate the technique in a little bit slower fashion, first, I'm grabbed by both my wrists by the opponent. I reverse the grab and grab my opponent, execute a front shin kick to the groin, and as I come forward, my momentum carries me forward, and I execute a right palm heel to the nose. I will demonstrate now for you a little bit faster. He grabs, I release, kick, groin, nose.
The technique that we were going to be working in at this point, he grabs you in a double wrist grab. You grab the wrist, you grab the other one as you sidestep, throwing him off balance. Follow it through with an elbow strike. Continue the movement, elbow to the back of the head. Then from this point, follow it up with a knee strike, then back into a defensive stance away from the opponent where he might not reach you. Okay, I'll do this slowly by myself this time. As the person grabs me in a rear grab from behind, I take a step to the side, throwing him off balance, elbow to the side of the face, continue my action, following through with an elbow to the back of the head, knee strike, then back into a stance. Now this time I'll be doing it just a little bit faster. Sarah gets a hold of me from behind, elbow, then back into a defensive stance.
Now let's see which option she has chosen to make her escape. The main lesson here is that if you are totally aware of your surroundings, you may be able to avoid a confrontation altogether.
Your fault. It's all your fault. You're being such a jerk.
Fault.
No way. Not.
If it were you, how would you break your fall safely? And how would you escape once you were down on the ground? Watch and listen carefully, and the masters will answer these questions with some simple, easy-to-learn tips.
There are a few things that I like to emphasize here. He breaks his fall with the use of his arms and his hands. You want to break your fall with the palm of your hand hitting the ground, not the back side of the hand. He can injure a lot of small bones in his hand. So the application here is to break your fall, making the palm of your hands and the inside of your arms to hit at the same time. Both arms at the same time. I'm down on the ground. I use my basic technique as far as falling. Now, as I bring myself up, I can view the assailant. As I come up, all I have to do is roll into him. 1, 2, 3, and an elbow to the groin. I like to show you that in low slow motion. I'm knocked to the ground. I'm down on the ground. I make my basic fall. Now, as I bring myself up, I size up the opponent. As his foot gets in, I come around, wrap around his foot, and just lean into him, follow my momentum, elbow to the groin. I'd like to show you that a little faster. He knocks me to the ground. I'm down. As he comes in, I'm here. Elbow to the groin. And I make my way out.
I've been knocked down on the ground. Okay. And usually you think of yourself being helpless on the ground. But you take your fall as was shown you earlier. What I do from here is pop up, your right leg snaps out, break the nearest leg to you, hook behind, bring him down, and as you come up, grab him from behind the head, pull up, slam his face down to the ground, and disable him and escape. Okay? Okay? Let's just see it as a technique-wise. Taking your fall, springing back up, guard yourself, strike his knee, hook around with your left foot, bring your right leg hooking over, bring him down, coming up on your opponent, grabbing his head, slamming him down into the ground. Okay, getting up and escaping the situation. Okay, okay, here we are. You push down, kick, down.
After you use the technique to break your fall, which you have already heard the lecture on in this tape, you come up on the back of your hands. Sitting up like this, the attacker comes at you. He steps left, he steps right. You guide his right foot out, bringing his weight forward just before he steps down, kicking to the groin, which is right in front of you. Lay down and place your left foot straight out in front of you, kicking with your right foot to his right knee, bringing him to the ground. As he sits up, as you start to get up to come back at you, you're ready to kick him away as you begin to run. I'll try it once by myself. I've thrown to the ground. I break my fall. I come up, ready for the attacker. As he steps forward, I guide his foot out, kicking him into the groin. Slide to my left foot down, kicking him into the knee. As I start to get up, he comes at me one more time, kicking him in the chest, and I run.
As you can see, she's learned to break her fall with both her arms. Now let's see how she escapes.
As you can see, this couple is enjoying each other's company. They are totally unaware that they are being watched by two thugs.
Hey, how you doing? Good, how are you? Okay. Hey, give me your wallet, man, or he's gonna cut it.
When the couple realizes what is going on, it is too late. Let the masters show you how to escape a situation like this.
Okay. First, I'll demonstrate a technique for the couple in the park while being attacked by two assailants. Okay, first I'll demonstrate what one would do if, for instance, someone was flailing away at them, a wild puncher, if you will. What could you do to defend yourself, okay? Coming in, blocking, and as you turn to block the other wild punch, you execute hit with the elbow, the forearm, and the opposite elbow you block, come back again, the same thing. It's a 1 and a 2 type movement. Very basic, very simple. I'll demonstrate for you now, just by myself and a little bit slower. You step into, from outside to inside defense, blocking the arm. As you come to do your other block, you execute elbow to the face, forearm to the face, opposite elbow to the face, and block, all in one motion. And then, again, the same motion the other way, attacking opponent in the opposite direction. Dennis? He's flailing away. Instantly, he's subdued. Secondly, I'd like to demonstrate for you a technique while being held at bay from behind with a weapon. Keeping in mind that this is a couple that are working together. And what you want to do is key on your opponent as well as on your partner. You're watching and being aware of the whole situation. And in this situation, you use your peripheral vision to do a visual check of which hand the weapon is in. From here, you'll execute by turning to the outside of the weapon in the opponent, using your whole arm to control his arm up high, coming around, breaking the knife free, kicking the knee, hitting the nose as he goes down. I'll do the technique slowly by myself. My arms are raised. I use the peripheral vision to do a check visually of the assailant. When I turn, I make sure I turn far enough out of the way, using my arm to defend and block, and then just using the pivotal point of my shoulder, swing it around, breaking the grip on the knife, execute a side kick to the knee, breaking the nose. I'll try to do it a little faster to give a realism to it. One thing I should point out, before you turn, make sure when you turn, you do not turn too shallow with the arm movement, because you will only end up being stabbed. So there's a little caution in this technique. From here, you do the visual check, turns all the way around, hit into the nose.
Okay, this technique that I'll be demonstrating next would be for 2-on-2. It could be a husband and a wife combination, a girlfriend and a boyfriend, or 2-on-2 anyway. Now the situation is this, is where my other partner would be attacked, and the first attacker comes in and gets a hold of me in a single-handed grab. What I'm going to be doing, okay, I'm going to be checking the hand as I hit the arm, hyperextending the elbow. I clear the hand, still checking it so it won't hit me unintentionally. Hit into the chest, hit to the side of the face, kick, taking his balance away, then back into a self-fighting stance. I'll go through that slowly by myself. As I check, again, I'm throwing him off balance, hitting under, clearing the hand, palm strike into the chest or throat, whatever's more available depending on his height. Hammer fist across into the face as I adjust my feet, kick inside the leg, then back into a defensive stance. Eric, let's try it once again a little faster, okay? So he comes in, okay, boom, kick, then back into a stance right there immediately. Okay, great. Now, the other opponent, in this case, here's what would be happening with the knife attack. Eric, could you bring the knife out? Okay, here's where the opponent would be attacking you from behind, a rear choke. What we'll be doing, let's position ourselves a little more this way so the TV people can see us. Okay, now, I check the hand, elbow strike, hammer fist to the groin. As I step behind, back in, still checking him, knee strike into the face, buckling the leg, and then rejoining your partner if possible, okay? Or helping him out, whichever would be more appropriate. I'll do it slowly this time. Okay, what we'll be doing from here again, you're checking the hand because you want to control that particular weapon. Elbow strike into a suplex, hammer fist into the groin. From there, as soon as you take a step back slightly, you hit to the ribs. Then from this point, you would be buckling him down, knee strike, then getting away from the opponent. Okay, Eric, let's try it a little faster this time, okay? Okay, the opponent comes in and grabs, okay? You check the hand, elbow, hammer fist, go, you take him down, then back into a stance, ready to continue on or help your partner out.
Two thugs come up, they hold a knife on the woman of the couple and grab the man of the couple demanding money. As they grab the man, he takes the person, as the man pulls him in, he goes with the momentum of the attacker pulling him in, grabbing right behind his head with the thumbs of both hands on the cheek, like you see on the cheek facing you. From here, with your fingers behind the head, you just guide your forehead right into his nose. From here, when he backs up, you come right up with your knee into the stomach area or groin area. If you're close in enough, to the groin. If you're not, to the stomach. Stepping back with your right foot, you pull him into a wall that's nearby or anything else, or head first into the ground. I'll try it once without an opponent. He comes up, he grabs me. As he pulls me in, I reach up, take my forehead to his nose, kneeing him and throwing him away and escaping the situation. From here, the wife, knife, seeing the other victim sees me begin to attack the other person, though he has the knife on her throat. When he does this, she takes this time for him to look away and takes advantage of this situation, pulling the knife away from his neck, from her neck, cutting the wrist. From here, this takes his attention to his wrist, turning his wrist, throwing him down, kicking to the armpit, pulling the arm and the knife right out, and running away. I'll try it once by myself. The attacker looks away. I grab the knife away, cut the attacker's hand, twisting, causing pressure on the wrist. I throw him to the ground, kicking to the armpit, pulling the knife out, escaping the situation. One more time on the attacker. Comes in, he holds the knife. He looks down, takes the knife away, cut him, throw him down, kick, take the knife away, escape the situation.
Hey, man, I don't have any money. If I did, I wouldn't give it to a couple jerks like you.
This couple took a chance that their assailants were bluffing, and it worked out to their advantage. But remember, each situation is different.
In this scene, suppose that you're walking down the sidewalk, not really paying much attention to the two people blocking your path. Let's find out what options we have to turn this disadvantage into an advantage.
I have two punks trying to take what they can from me. The whole idea is distraction. The closest opponent to me, and this is an element of surprise. What I'll do is, I'll look at him, but I'll spit in his face. The other guy will approach, I'll hit backhand to him. Now, let me do this by myself, guys. Guy comes at me. The element surprise here is that when you spit in anybody's face, the normal reaction is for him to cover his face. So that's the distraction that I want. Turn, spit in his face, and give him a good shot. As the other opponent approaches you, hit, follow up with a backhand. Your momentum takes you out of the situation. Let me do that a little faster with the two guys. Again, here these guys come up and see what they can get out of me. As I turn to this guy, I feel bang, boom, and I'm out of the situation. Simple.
Okay, now we have a situation of two people confronting you. So you're walking down and you assess the situation and try to, again, find a position that puts you at an advantage. Okay. From here, I'm a fake coming at the first opponent in front of me. From there, as he's backing up and the other fellow's coming at me, come back with an elbow to his face, okay, grabbing his arm. From there, striking with a fire forearm to his throat, knocking him into his opponent, eliminating both of them. What this does, instead of trying to fight two people, I'm trying to eliminate the advantage they have by blocking one person out of me. Okay, so what we do is, again, you fake, go towards the first guy, elbow strike to the face, grabbing the person's arm, from there, strike with your entire forearm to the throat or face, whatever area, and driving him all the way past, right into the other opponent's body, and knocking both of them down so you can escape. Okay, let's try that a little bit stronger and faster. Here, fake, elbow, pull him down.
Technique number 3, what I'm going to be doing is for two people attacking me. Now what's going to happen, Eric, is going to be grab me from the front and the other person grab me from behind. Now what I'm going to be doing is as I check, I'm going to be doing an elbow strike, a kick to the groin. I follow through with a forearm strike, continuing my actions. I hit him, palm strike to the stomach, knee strike, and then low kick into the leg. Then I'm back into a defensive stance. Okay, I'll do this by myself, and then we'll do it with the two attackers. As you block, hit, from there, knee, kick, then back into a stance. Okay, gentlemen, okay. So the third, okay, get a hold of it from there, keep block, boom, hit, boom, knee, boom, rear kick, then back into a defensive stance.
As they come up, one approaches me, say he asks me for a cigarette. He asks me for a cigarette and pushes me. I say I don't smoke. This one says, then how about your wallet? As he does that, before he gets T of wallet out of his mouth, I come down, hitting to the groin. The reason I attack him before either one swings is because by this time I know what they want. They want to steal my money, and besides, they'll most likely assault me. From here, I elbow him to the chest, knocking him away from me. He sees this and throws a punch. I do a basic block, outside block, which you will also learn in this tape, blocking his arm. Pulling him in with his momentum, I grab him right over the right shoulder with my right hand. Bringing my right knee up, I kick him into the chest. From here, he's got the wind knocked out of him. I bring him in, right into his partner, and run out of the situation. Now I'll try it on my own without my opponents. Comes up to me, he pushes me. The other one asks for my wallet. As he asks for my wallet, immediately I bend down, hitting to the groin, elbow to the chest. He punches. My hands are already guarding my center line. From here, I block, grabbing him, grabbing his shoulder, knee, throwing him into his partner, and escaping the situation. These all can be done with practice. You just have to watch carefully as we explain what you're doing. Listen to our words when we say your right foot, your left foot, your right arm. Next, they try it again. They try to attack me. When he says wallet, boom, I hit him once, boom in the chest. Block his punch, knee, and back into his partner, and escape the situation.
How about your wallet?
He escaped by using one opponent as a weapon against the other.
I want your lunch money, man.
We all know that even children are prone to attacks. However, they too can learn simple but effective self-defense.
Let's go through it slowly, you guys. Okay, what they're going to be doing is for a double-handed grab. Jeffrey will do the self-defense technique first. From there, what he does, he grabs, he hits to the arms, he clears again, does a chop into the neck. Then he gets back into a self-defense technique. Let's go through it a little bit faster, Jeffrey. He gets a hold of him, then goes a little quicker. 1, 2, then clear, then fighting stance. Very good. Now, one of the things that we try to teach the students is that in the street, they can get hurt two ways. One is intentionally, and the other one would be unintentionally. And if you really think about it, those are the only two ways you can get hit in the street, whether it be by a rock, a stick, a gun, or whatever. It's still done intentionally. Now, sometimes when we do a movement unintentionally, that you might trigger a reaction from the person that might hit you as well. Now, from here, Joseph is going to be doing a technique for a side headlock. Now, as he gets a hold of him in a headlock, what he's going to do is going to take a step forward. He gets to the kidney. He pulls the hair back, and then he does a palm strike to the face. Then he gets back into a defensive stance, getting ready to continue on or run away where he might not be bothered anymore. Now, he's going to go through it slowly again. Okay, a little bit faster. Go right ahead, Jeffrey. He gets him, hits there, palm strike, then back into defensive stance. Okay, very good, gentlemen. Okay. Stay right there, you guys. Okay, now the next thing is the aspect of using your common sense. If we can all always avoid a situation and think ahead, is very important. Even though when we train the self-defense techniques, we try to tell the students to be careful when they're doing it, and you people or young adults as watching this particular segment, try to understand that these people have been training for quite a while. So if you do practice them, do them very slow, and make sure that your mom or dad are supervising what you're doing so you won't be hurting each other, either by purpose or by accident, obviously. But again, keep in mind, the most important part to remember of this segment is always use your common sense. Be aware of your environment, be aware of where you're at all times, and try to stay away from areas that might be dangerous to you. It could be dark alleys, it could be, when you see people that you don't know coming towards you, try and go the other way, or run if you have to, because that works as well. Try to understand that these students have been practicing for a while, and we wouldn't like you to practice it on your mom or dad or yourselves or your friends. It's strictly should be done, you know, very slowly and with the supervision of your parents, so you won't be hurting each other. Again, if you're going to leave something to trigger, you know, your interest as far as in the martial arts, keep in mind the first thing that we try to teach is the most important thing, which is your common sense. If you can avoid a situation, do it, because that's the greatest defense that you can learn in any type of situation.
No.
First and foremost, children should be taught the importance of being aware of strangers. If a stranger does not leave you alone, it is your right to use whatever means necessary to defend yourself. But of course, if at all possible, avoid the confrontation. This is the smartest self-defense.
Come on, dude. Just down the street.
Children are abducted every day. This child believes he has a safe path around the car and the stranger, but as you can see, it is not as safe as he thought. Now let's look at some ways out of this problem.
In this particular situation, what I'm going to do, I'm going to be using Jeffrey to demonstrate one of the self-defense techniques. Now in this particular technique, what he's going to be doing is going to be where I lift him actually off the ground. Now in this case, what I'm doing, I'm going to be getting a hold of Jeffrey. He's going to be doing it slow. He does a backhand strike, he does a kick right into my knee, and then a cloth strike right to the face, and he's getting ready to run away from me. So let's go over the situation again. Now what I'm doing, I'm going to be surprising him. I'm going to go through it a little bit faster. So I come in and get a hold of him, hits, kicks, palm strike, then he's ready to run away from me. Okay, thank you, Jeffrey. Now the next thing I'm going to be doing is getting Jeffrey up here. He's going to be demonstrating another technique. Now the technique is going to be done where his feet are on the ground, so now he can use that as a form of a support. Now what I'm going to be doing here is he's there. He's going to go through it very slowly. I come in and I attempt to choke him, either to pull him into a car or just to control him somehow. Now from here, what he's going to do is going to check my hand. He's going to kick right into my leg. From that point, he's going to wind away from me and then do a kick and then get ready to run away from me, so he won't be in any particular danger at this point. Let's go through that again a little faster, okay, Joseph? So I come in and say, grab him, kicks, he kicks again, then he gets ready to run away from me.
The important lesson to be learned here is, children should not be afraid to fight back when they're in danger, and to yell out and draw the attention of others to the scene.
Hell, man, you got the time?
I don't have no watch.
Many seniors like this one use a cane for a crutch, but it also can be used as a very effective weapon for self-defense. Watch as our masters show you just how effective it can be.
As he comes in, you can use the cane as a weapon. Maybe you cannot kick that high, so what you do, you stomp into the foot, elbow, excuse me, you're hitting the side of the, with your cane, you grab the inside of the foot, pull it, and then from this point on, you can hit into the shin, then continue about your business. I'll go through this slowly. Okay, let's say the person's in front of me. We clear his attack, stomp, hit, you hook his feet, then boom, hit into the leg, then you continue on. Okay, I'll do it just a little bit faster with Eric. I'm right in front here. He comes in and you block, stomp, hit, hook his foot, then from this point hit into the shin to avoid any continued aggressive tactics from him.
As he walks down the street, the attacker comes up, threatening the victim. As he threatens the victim just looks up at him slightly, raises the cane into the groin. From here, guiding his momentum straight ahead, hits him with the butt of the cane. As he does this, slightly step forward. You don't need to be quick or with a lot of weight. Just hook the cane behind the neck, stepping back with the left foot, guiding him away. He keeps on going. Once by myself, just walking down the street. As he does, he's threatened, hits to the groin, hits to the nose, hooks him, throws him to the ground, and keeps going. One more time fast. As he comes up, strike, strike, hook him down, you're on your way.
Again, we have
young people picking on seniors. And here's an old man making his way, walking the broad walk, down by the beach, and he's accosted by the man, a young guy. All he has to do is raise the cane up over the guy's arm, grab, use the leverage, follow up, apply the cane to the throat, and he can be on his way. I'll slow this down for you. Again, the situation of this technique here is that we are applying pressure to joints. All I'm doing is once the assailant puts his hand on my shoulder, all I'm doing is raising the cane up over his arm, grabbing the cane, applying the pressure, follow through with it as I knock him down, apply the pressure to the throat, still having leverage on his arm. He can put added pressure with the leverage on his arm, and the old man can make his way. Let me show you that in another situation here a little faster. Now again, he's accosted. Old man just raises his up, down, here, down, boom. And then the old man kind of walks away.
As you can see, this elderly man has used just enough force to defend himself and escape.
For business people, carrying a briefcase is a matter of necessity.
Yeah, what do you got in that briefcase there?
Now let the masters show you how a briefcase can benefit you in a self-defense situation.
What's happening here is where maybe someone's attacking you from your right side. As you're walking sideways, you notice an opponent coming in at you. What you're going to do, you're going to use your briefcase as a weapon or as a form of defending yourself, as well as a weapon. You hit into the bicep, striking right up into the face, knee strike, then hitting into the kidney, and you continue about your business. Okay, now I'll go through this slowly by myself. Okay, from here, you notice he's coming at you at an angle. You sidestep as you use the briefcase as a defense. From there, you're hitting directly into the bicep, then bring it up into the face, knee strike, hitting into the kidney, then getting away to safety, okay? We'll go through it a little faster. So he comes in, boom, you clear, strike, face, knee, boom, then get into the kidney, then back into a defensive stance, making sure that the person does not continue to try to attack you.
Now I'd like to demonstrate the businessman's defense. And from here, man is coming from work, whatever, he's approached by an assailant at knife point. From here, he immediately, again, steps to the outside of the assailant, hits the knee and to the spinal cord, and he's away. Slowly, by myself, it looks like this. From here, you step out, hit the knee and the spine. A little quicker. This is a dangerous technique to do while practicing with someone. It's advisable to wear equipment and to use the appropriate tools to practice with. So we have a real briefcase to be as realistic as possible. But if you were to practice this at home, it's good advice to use a bag of some type that you train with. Okay. Here's that bait.
Well, this businessman drops his briefcase. This takes the attacker's attention away. As I do this, I bring both my hands up, grabbing his knife and pulling it, if it's by my neck, straight away from me. Both my thumbs, you notice, are on his knuckles. My insides of my hands are on his palm. From here, I step back with my left foot, keeping his momentum going this way, twisting his wrist, causing pressure here, bringing him to the ground. My hands are under this way. From here, I pull the knife out, disregard, kick, and run out of the situation. My theory on weapons is that you always think of three things: identify, control, and disarm the weapon. Next technique, I'll do it by myself this time. The person comes up, he holds the knife. I drop it, bringing his attention to the suitcase, or the briefcase in this case. Okay, grabbing his wrist with both hands, thumbs on the knuckles, other hands on the palms. Stepping back, twisting, bringing him to the ground. Pulling the knife out of his hand, kicking to the ribs, and escaping the situation. I'll do it one time with my opponent. As he comes up, he holds the knife on me. I change the direction of his eyes so I can take advantage of his hand. Grabbing with my thumbs on the knuckles, bringing him down, dislocating the knife from his hand, kicking to the ribs, and escaping the situation.
Oh, you can have it. Hey.
Remember, any object can be used to your advantage.
I would like to talk to you some of the pluses and minuses of falling. But before I do that, I'd like to caution you. If you do this at home, make sure that you have mats available. We are professionals and we know what we're doing. I would like to have Dennis assist me during this exercise. Now again, I want to caution on points on the body. We want to prevent the points on the body from hitting the ground. And I'll run through it with you on some of the exercises. I would like to start with Dennis in a squatting position. As he falls, he'll protect himself with his arms. But there are a few things that I like to emphasize here. He breaks his fall with the use of his arms and his hands. You want to break your fall with the palm of your hand hitting the ground, not the back side of the hand. He can injure a lot of small bones in his hand. So the application here is to break your fall, making the palm of your hand and the inside of your arms to hit at the same time. Both arms at the same time. Dennis, go through that again. Now as he does this, he'll break his fall. The other thing that he wants to emphasize here is that he'll tuck his chin to his chest. With this, keeping his chin to his chest, he'll protect the backside of his head. The emphasis again here is to protect yourself with your arms to prevent injuring vital organs. We'll go through that again, repeating the exercise again in a squatting, starting from the squatting position. He'll fall and then he'll protect himself. Good. One more time, Dennis. Come up again in a squatting position. You'll do that. He'll fall back. He'll protect himself. Now, besides falling directly back, he might fall on his side. As he does this, he'll protect himself not only with the use of his hand and his arm, but also the side of his leg. He'll make sure that he's not hitting any points like the ankle bone. He'll also use the base of his foot to protect himself. Now, basically what we want to do when we protect ourselves falling to the side is that the arms, the hand, and the side of the leg, as well as the bottom of the foot, hits the ground at the same time. This will help him protect himself. We'll do this exercise on both sides. He'll flip over on the other side, repeating the same thing. On the other side, he'll repeat the same thing. Now, I'd like to show you an application of somebody getting thrown. Dennis? You can see what the student has learned now is to fall, break his fall on the side of his leg. He also applied pressure for support with his arms and his hands. He utilized the base of his foot. Again, in a practical situation, Dennis, when an opponent comes and be a exercise falling on the back, he approaches me with the fall down. As you can see, he fell on his back, but he protected himself using both his arms. I had utilization of his legs. He couldn't utilize his legs, so he utilizes his arms. Another application. The thing that we want to caution you again is not to get in a squatting position. If the individual should try to restrain from falling again, the thing that we want to caution you is that sometimes it's best to complete the fall. In this type of situation, you might strain your elbow, your shoulder joints, or even your wrist. It would have been wise for him to continue his fall, break his fall with both arms. Again, walking through some of the things that we talked about is that we want to protect ourselves on the points of the body. We don't want the elbow to be hitting the ground. We don't want the wrist bone area sticking out that might hit the ground. As we continue this, the knees and the ankle bone. Now, another application or an exercise that I want to take you through is a row type of exercise. Starting off with your legs apart. So try to use his right hand reaching for his ankle. As he does this, he'll go into a roll type situation. As you can see, he has applied what he has learned. He used the bottom part of his hand, the inside of his arm, as well as the side of his legs. Finish. One more time. Again, I want to emphasize that you want to run through these type of basic exercises and be familiar with your surroundings. And again, I caution you that when you do practice these exercises, make sure that you're doing it on some well-padded equipment.
First off is the principle of the center line and defense of the center line. This is an imaginary line that runs from the tip of the head and to the bottom of the feet. And upon this line, you'll find either directly lying on the line or within inches of the line, many of the body vital points. The eyes, the nose, the fulcrum, the base of the chin, the throat, the solar plex, as well as the knees, all lie within inches or directly on this line. The second basic principle I would like to point out for you is the fact that while executing a block, you should parry. And parrying is another basic principle used in blocking. And Dennis will demonstrate the parry. First to the left, to the right, and then to the left. Parrying is a very important point in basic blocking techniques. The third basic point I would like to bring forth is the fact that from the base of the elbow to the tip of the fingertips and all the areas along that plane are the areas we use in application of blocking techniques. First, we'll demonstrate an inside to outside defense being applied against a straight right jab. Then parrying, moving out of the way, blocking, and again, inside to outside defense. With this, I'd like to, at this time, point out that a block can be used as a strike as well. And with that in mind, the same thing, punch, defend. At the same time, a strike is executed to the face. So you notice we've blocked and hit at the same time. Very efficient movement. With that, keep in mind that position, destination, and speed are basic things that relate to blocking and very important while doing the technique. Now I'd like to demonstrate an outside to inside block against a hook punch from the left. Dennis? And with this, please note that the power as it comes upon his arm is aimed at the fleshy part of the bicep, whereby applying very, very excruciating pain to the opponent, setting him up for a simple strike to the face. Again, outside to inside defense punch. Here, and the setup of the strike. The next basic block I'd like to demonstrate is high defense for an overhand strike. Dennis? Note that the arm is above my head 5 to 6 inches to make sure that I have defended myself adequately. Again, the high defense. With this, we'll cover the fourth and final basic block, which is a block that is used most often against kicks. Dennis will execute a front snap kick. I step out of the way, parrying and blocking with a low motion. Again, block, step out of the way. With that, that brings to a conclusion the basic blocks as they apply in self-defense. One more time to recap the basic blocks. Dennis will demonstrate for you the inside to outside defense and the outside to inside defense and the high defense. Finally, the low defense. From here, I'd like to point out that when striking, think of the forearm in conjunction with the hand as you would a 2x4. Please note, a basic punch should be executed with the hand being level with the rest of the forearm, not in a manner where the fist is up and bent, whereby if you punch, you would sprain or break your wrist upward, or if you held the punch wrong in this manner, you could strain or sprain it or break it by punching incorrect with the wrist being bent down. The correct way to punch, the basic punch, is to level out. Look straight this way, and you should be able to see a straight plane. From here, when your punch happens, it has the effect of a 2x4. Another basic strike we like to use is a palm heel strike. This is excellent for women because a lot of ladies have nails and whatnot, and it's a very easy way to form your hand. And the same principle holds true for this. A type of strike like this also is similar to being hit with a 2x4. And finally, a basic strike we like to cover that applies to most basic techniques is the basic karate chop, whereby it's struck against the side of the face, this way, or with the left, either hand. And with that, that pretty well wraps up the basic block and striking as it applies to street defense. The third basic strike we use in self-defense is a basic karate chop. Against a right jab, you cover as you apply the strike to the base of the jawbone or the side of the temple. Very effective basic technique. With that, there are two additional strikes we use in the basic scheme of self-defense. One being the hammer fist, just applied to the side of the temple or the bridge of the nose. It can also be executed from coming from a downward, upward to downward type strike. With that, one final basic strike we like to use when you're in a tight situation. The elbow is an excellent striking technique to use. With that, we hope pretty much covers the basics that one should know about in dealing with self-defense as it pertains to striking and blocking. Thank you very much.
We're going to show you all the different possibilities that the leg can offer. The striking targets they can use in attacking an opponent, say the tip of the toe, if you're using a hard street shoe, is very effective. Or you can use the ball of your foot, the heel, also the back of the heel, and the entire shin area is very effective, and the top of the knee area. What we're going to show you now are some attacks using these specific points. Say, for instance, the first one is the tip of the toe. Say if I'm using a very hard street shoe, I can attack with a snap to the groin, okay, using the tip. Also, the same kick can be used using the ball of the foot. The side of the foot is very effective for close quarter fighting, where you can come into an opponent, stomp on his knee, slide down his shin, and slamming down on his instep. And there are usually the bones on the instep are very delicate, in which you can try to break and cause quite a bit of damage. Also, the inside of the foot can be used in the same sense of hitting the knee, and also be used for the back of the legs. using the heel to strike, which is a very hard part of your body. You can just a very simple, a short strike, stomping down on the person's foot. Or say if you're trying to escape, the guy's coming after you, simply thrust your heel into his chest, abdomen, lower abdomen, or the groin area. Now, a very effective street fight technique is to use the entire shin area. It leaves you a very large target to be able to strike your opponent with. On this one, what I'm trying to do is we hit the top thigh muscle, which will generally cramp the muscle and disable his foundation, his legs. Here, attack. Okay. Also, this same kick with the instep can be used for the groin area, which is very effective because there's so much of a target that you can use to strike. Virtually, it's very hard to miss. Okay. Last, we come to the knee. The knee, if you're in close combat with the person, can be used to strike on his top thigh muscle, or if you're able to, if you can grab the person behind the neck, come strike with a knee to the solar plex, stomach, or if you can, smash to his face.
First, we are going to go over what the wrist can and can't do. The wrist can bend this way, it can bend this way, it can bend slightly this way, slightly this way. It can be turned to a point on either side. Okay. Now also with the wrist, you have to understand it's one of the joints in the body that has many bones in it. So it's very easily broken. Though some people do have thick wrists, there are other ways to utilize it. Say he grabs my hand. What I'm going to have to do is lock his hand to hold it here, which I turn my hand over on his wrist. This locks and puts pressure on these bones here, bringing him down with pressure. Now this doesn't seem like I'm doing anything, but it does hurt the opponent. Do it one more time. He grabs. I place my hand on his hand, circling over, bringing him down. Another way, say they grab. This is also good for a woman if someone's getting fresh. Put the hand on. See that the thumb is on the knuckles. Taking the hand, grabbing under at this point, it turns the wrist. He can turn it to a point and then he has to go with it and down. If I want to turn him the other way, same thing, my thumb is on his knuckles and I grab under the hand again at the palm, turning in a circle, putting pressure with my thumbs, bringing my other hand to the knuckles also, pushing down. He has to go down. Now this seems like he might be able to get away, but it's used as a technique to control and hold if you want to use another technique on him, like a low kick or a kick to the leg to bring him down. Another way, if he's choking me, if I want to use the wrist to get him off of a choke, and I can't because his wrist is too strong, I will utilize his thumb by bending it back and down. Or his pinky, or this finger. Okay, another one. If he grabs, say he grabs my wrist, we'll go to the wrist. Grabs the wrist. If I grab here and bring up and then down, he has to come down. Okay. Or if I come under the fingers with both my hands and turn his hand down. This is all putting pressure on the wrist. Now, we'll do a couple for a punch. If he's approaching punching, first thing, you move your target. You always think of yourself as the target. When you block to get a wrist technique, you always block first. This time I'm utilizing an inside block. I'm blocking, then I grab. If you just try and grab and you miss, you're going to get hit. So you want to block and then grab. bringing my right hand up slowly to the knuckles, turning him down. One more time. I block, then grab, bringing the other hand up, turning, and down. Now, sit down. From this position, I have my knee here. I can also lock his elbow or utilize a kick. One more time. If I want to block inside, again, I use an inside block. My hand drops down, so my thumb is over his knuckles. This hand comes up, which is also over the knuckles and under the palm, turning him this way. Again, I use it to utilize a kick anywhere I want or a chop. Now I'm going to go through just these a few times fast, showing you through practice with this tape, Self-Defense for Everyone. Everyone can utilize it and do it at this speed. That's right. Block, taking him down. Locking both my fingers on the thumb. My thumbs are on his knuckles. My hands are in the insides of his hand. One more time. Blocking, fingers down. Now you also notice, very important, I move my target to get the momentum I need. I step back, giving him somewhere to fall to. One more time, watch again. As he punches, I block, grab. Now his momentum is moving this way. I use that and continue it down. From here, I can give him a quick kick and a run and escape the situation. If I want to do it from the inside, I block. Again, my hands are here. Bring him down. I can strike. Okay. A little faster. Block, fingers over, down, strike. One last one. He grabs my wrist, comes in. I grab, lock, over, he's down, strike. This is basic hand grabs, wrist locks in Self-Defense for Everyone that everyone can do if you practice time and time again. Watch the tape, go over it, think about what you're learning carefully, and practice it carefully. Thank you very much.
There are many, many weaknesses as our nerve endings that we can use to incapacitate our attackers. Let's start with the eyes. Those are very, very vulnerable for attacks. The temple. Temples are a hollow space on the skull, which when hit can cause either serious damage as far as blood vessels bursting or cause the opponent to faint. The bridge of the nose is made of only of cartilage, which can struck, can break very easily. Also a very vulnerable part is the area right where the nose and the upper lip meets. The throat area, this area can be used very, very easily. And we have the groin area. And then we have the knees, which are very delicate material of the cartilage. The shin area, which are exposed with nerve endings. There isn't much protection on that area at all. So there's great pain if struck in that area. Okay, what can we do with these areas? The eyes, which are all we can think of giving a jab to the eyes. It's usually not that easy. What we found could be a little bit more effective is to actually use the hand as a claw, strike the face first, claw down, find the eyes, press in, and either gouge out your opponent's eyes because he's really coming to mean harm on your body, so you really have to take care of the guy. Okay. The temple we can strike with either both hands coming in this way, breaking the bone area. The bridge of the nose, as we saw earlier, we can use a hammer fist. The upper lip and nose area we can use as the heel of the hand and actually press upwards, striking very, very hard, which can possibly push the bone up to the brain area and can cause very serious damage, possibly death, which is better him than you. And we have the throat area. Throat area can be used either for striking or we can use it for choking. Best to actually use the two thumbs and press them very hard, cutting off the wind, which could either cause your opponent to faint or just temporarily have this great deal of pain. The next area we have is the groin area, which we all know how vulnerable and how much that hurts. One way to strike that area is, say, with a back hammer fist, striking downward. There. Okay. Another way is also either when you're in tight, you use the knee. Okay. The next area we move down to is the knee area, where there's just soft cartilage, where it could be extensive damage because the knee is meant to move and bend forward only. Okay. So if we do strike at the knee and we strike right on front, pushing it back, which will cause it hopefully to go back past its extension point and break, which will cause a great deal of pain. The other way we can have injury come to the knee is have a blow come to the either side, striking. Most likely you would want to use a kick to the side. Okay. And it works either way, from outside or the inside. Okay. The next area we have is the shin area. The shin is a real nice target because it's a nice large target for us, so it's a little easier to hit. Same way we can use a kick. Kick right onto the shin area. Either kick straight forward into it or kicking and scraping downward.
There's a very simple object. It's simulated. It looks like a pen. It looks like a pencil. I have an eraser on it. I have a clip on it. It looks like a pencil. But if I should grab it in a conventional way, and if I wanted to grab, I would have to use my thumb to hold it or my small finger to hold it in place. So I come up with some basic, very basic, 3 basic techniques that I want to go through with you. Basic number 1, I cradle the object. Cradle the object in the hand. This way I can still grab. I can still punch. I can claw without losing the apparatus or the object. I can also work it, being that it's sitting in the palm of my hand, I can palm to his forehead. This will sit right in on a bony structure on the skull, causing severe pain. Basic number 2, I use it as a pincher. So in a basic movement, with the fingers, I pull it on the side. Now, if the individual should grab my wrist, I'll use the pinch action against the bony area. He releases, then I can follow with a technique, a backhand technique. Basic number 3 is a pointer. Again, with a little manipulation of the fingers, I can use it as a pointer. I can go to the eyes. I can go to the throat. I can go to a bony area like the collarbone. As well as, if I'm real lucky, I can go to the nose. It'll go in the nose, and I can push it. Again, everyday objects that you carry can become weapons. Let me go through this with you again. Basic number 1, I cradle the apparatus. I use it as a palm. I can grab. I can punch. Basic number 2, I can use it as a pincher. I can go to the throat. I can go to the wrist. Basic number 3 is a pointer. I can go to the eyes. I can go to the collarbone. And if I wanted to, I go to the bottom of the cheek. I also have a mini flashlight. With the help of Eric, I'd like to show you some of the applications of some of this apparatus. I can grasp the flashlight in a manner such as this with the end exposed. Now, previously, some of the masters mentioned some of the vulnerable points that an individual can hit. One of it would be a backhand to the temple. I can hit to the collarbone. I can backhand to the throat. Now, an object like this here, once we find the fundamental usage of it, once we find the thing that we can do with it, your imaginations can carry you from there. I can also work it where if the individual should grab the wrist, I can use the protruded hand against a bony area, such as his wrist, to make him hurt. In this vulnerable position, as previously described by another master, I can follow up with a knee.
Thanks to today's technology, people have many choices of tools that they can use to protect themselves. Remember, self-defense is the use of whatever justifiable force is necessary to protect yourself and escape the situation.
One of the tools that can be used is the stun gun, such as this woman has. She didn't just buy it and use it. She's been trained. As she walks to her car, she's been instructed to always be prepared. And that means having your defense tools, whatever they may be, ready. Because when you're attacked, it always happens without warning. Let's see how she handles the situation.
In our next program, you'll learn in detail how to use this device safely.
Through data compiled by rape crisis centers, we know that most women are raped by either someone they know as an acquaintance or in a date situation. Now, if you know and understand this, it'll not only make you aware, but also prepared to handle the situation. Understand that she's been asking him repeatedly to take her home, but he disregards her and takes her to a secluded place. Now he thinks he's in control of the situation. Unfortunately for him, he has less control than he believes, because she is aware and can calmly and assertively escape the situation. As he gets aggressive and physical, she reacts accordingly.
Hey, you know you want it.
I do not want anything except for to go home. It's late.
Come here,
It's time
you
for
gonna
me.
get it,
Please. Although.
What are you doing?
Also in the upcoming video, you'll see how not to become a victim of date rape.
Now, in future shows of self-defense for everyone, we'll show you how to teach your children code words to avoid possible child abduction, and simple but very effective exercises for everyone that will help you turn an attacker's advances against him, and how businessmen can use everyday items that they work with to defend themselves against muggers and thieves. And you'll learn everything there is to know about basic self-defense that will make you better able to cope in any situation.
We will have the latest in crime prevention tips from police departments and rape crisis centers.
So be sure to look for upcoming shows, which will help you live a much safer and healthier life.
Thanks for watching. We're sure you found Self-Defense for Everyone interesting and informative. Until next time, remember, stay safe.
And aware.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.